So last time on Dragon Ball Super VE, Goku had met with his father Bardock in Hell, and in the process of sparring with him, uncovered Bardock's latent Ultra Instinct abilities, but only when he seemed to be unable to see. Whis, noticing this, then took the Saiyan to be trained one-on-one in the Pyramid of Power, where on day one of their training, Whis revealed that he intends to first fight Bardock himself. But before we begin, support this video and channel by leaving a like right now as you're reading this and watching till the very end for its insanely unexpected ending. Enjoy. Our story begins with Bardock now inside the special Pyramid of Power that Whis erected especially for the training of Bardock. Inside, 2 years will pass as only 1 day on the outside. Whis at this point has just revealed that the first step to their training will be a one-on-one fight between Bardock and Whis, and Whis continues, "So, Bardock-san, are you ready? Before I can understand how best to train you, I need to know the level you're at, and as an angel, I cannot attack a mortal unless given explicit permission. So, what do you say?" Bardock, confused however, replies, "Huh? But if it's just to gauge my level, didn't you just see me fight Kakarot? That was my full power. It's not like I held back or anything. But, whatever. If that's what you want, a Saiyan doesn't back down from a fight." And with an alarmingly cocky smirk, Bardock then gets into his natural fighting stance, saying, "Can't say I'm not excited about this, evil sorcerer. Fighting you will bring me one step closer to understanding how to beat Kakarot. To be honest, though you said you were his master, you hardly look like a fighter. I mean, who ever heard of a fighter that wears lipstick?" Whis, with a sweat drip down his face and his eyes closed, awkwardly smiles and responds, "Oh dear, it's going to be very hard to hold back against you, Bardock-san, after that comment." Before transitioning to a serious face with his arms behind his back as he says, "Well, I guess we may now begin. Come at me when you please, Bardock. Don't feel like you need to hold back. I will be ready for anything you have up your sleeve. Consider yourself a winner, Bardock-san, if you can even lay a single finger on me." And following this, Bardock then rushes in anger, commenting, "Lay a finger? You underestimate the power of a Saiyan far too much, sorcerer. Prepare to die!" Whis immediately gives off a smile, pleased at Bardock's enthusiasm, muttering quietly, "Oh, on the contrary, I know the power of you Saiyans very well." Yeah! Bardock's attack, as expected, is completely dodged by Whis, who is still holding his hands behind his back, and in an almost provoking way comments, Interesting. Decent speed, acceptable technique. You aren't quite as bad as I thought, Bardock-san. But you're no Goku." "What did you say?" Immediately, Bardock, hearing this, flips in anger and responds, "How many times do I need to say this? Don't look down on me, sorcerer!" And following this, then launches a barrage of attacks, which Whis, of course, dodges with ease and with an aggravating smile. But in an instant, Whis momentarily completely vanishes from Bardock's sight, before suddenly appearing right on top of Bardock, using the Saiyan's head as a footstool, commenting from above, "Looking for me, Bardock-san? I must say, you have a surprisingly soft head." Obviously angered at the situation, Bardock mutters, "This guy, get off!" before he suddenly raises his arms to try and grab Whis, but once again, Whis dodges, flipping with elegance while at the same time taunting Bardock, saying, "Ooh, almost got me there, Bardock-san, but still nowhere near enough," before suddenly appearing right in front of a surprised Bardock. "Huh? How did he?" And with a smile, Whis responds, "That's enough for today, I think. I think you deserve a nice rest. Good night, Bardock-san," before placing his finger on a confused Bardock's forehead. Instantly then flicking Bardock point blank, and as a result, sending Bardock flying through the air at a faster speed than he has ever gone before, before ultimately then crash landing on his back at full force. What power! Was that really just his finger? Whis, however, who stares watching on from afar, thinks to himself with a smile, he may look just like Goku, but in reality, his mindset and mannerisms are more like Vegeta-san's. Simply put, he cannot escape his Saiyan mentality to correlate anger and rage with increasing his power. I'm afraid this may not be as easy as I thought it would be, but at the very least, his body appears to be strong. It seems he's getting up already from that attack even in his base form, but I think it's best I put him out of his misery now. Meanwhile, Bardock does in fact begin getting up, but in clear agony with his eyes closed, still from just how hard the impact of Whis' strike was. He mutters, "My whole body seems in pain from just that one attack. I guess he wasn't kidding at all about being Kakarot's master. My head!" Before suddenly a sharp pain races through Bardock's head as the after impact of Whis' attack shows, leading to Bardock now grabbing his face and his eyes still closed in pain. Whis, who has now arrived at the scene, just looks on with a cold smile, simply impressed Bardock is even still standing, responding, "How impressive for a mortal, but it looks like he isn't in any state to continue training." Before Whis then suddenly rushes in to deliver a final blow, saying, "One last attack for good measure. Prepare yourself, Bardock." But unbelievably, Bardock, who still has his eyes closed and covering his head in pain, instantly dodges Whis' staff at the last second, completely shocking the angel Whis in the process. That movement! How did he... Could this be? Confused at what's going on, Whis continues to attack at the speed that only an angel could maintain, but still oblivious, Bardock manages to dodge everything, completely Uno reversing the cards on Whis. Eventually, however, Bardock suddenly reopens his eyes, realizing only now he's being attacked. He reacts, "Huh? What the? You're still attacking? Why you?" Immediately rushing in to attack back at Whis. Whis, however, dodges that without even trying. Again? And as he winds up to attack Bardock once more, he thinks to himself, his eyes are now open again. Will he be able to dodge this? This moment will be crucial. I won't hold back. Huh? But unfortunately, Bardock's moment of greatness is cut short as Whis' attack actually lands, instantly causing a brutal hit that knocks the teeth out of him, sending Bardock comedically flying this time through the air before finally crash landing on the ground, unconscious and in a daze. Whis is understandably bemused as he truly was expecting more after that brief impressive showing, muttering, "Oh dear, I guess I shouldn't expect too much on day one of training. I probably shouldn't have hit him that hard." But eventually Whis' face goes back to serious as he reflects, thinking, but to think, it's one thing to have dodged Goku-san's attacks, but he even managed to dodge mine. My movements are not the same as Goku's. My speed, my mannerisms are completely different. I've been trained my entire life to fight even Ultra Instinct users and counter their movements. Not saying I was using my full power, but even just that feat is truly remarkable for a mortal. No doubt, with Mirus relinquishing his role as an angel, Father would be very interested in you, Bardock-san. Meanwhile, the unconscious and dazed Bardock begins to daydream, at first seeing nothing but darkness, but as he slowly opens his eyes, he notices a far-off tree, and beside it, a familiar figure. Where am I? And who is that? It can't be! Is that Gine! And immediately, Bardock runs towards her in excitement, hoping to see his wife for the first time in over 20 years since they both died on planet Vegeta. And immediately the two spouses then completely embrace each other, with Gine muttering, "Oh Bardock, you're finally back! It's been so long since we were last together, my love." A tear begins to fall down her cheek as she continues, "And now, I see you've been revived too, and by our son no less. I can't believe you're finally with our baby boy Kakarot. I'm dying to know, how is he?" Bardock then with a smile replies, "Well, he's dumber than I thought he would be, but at least he's strong, really strong. He's taken after me so well, Gine." "Oh you, so full of yourself as usual. As long as Kakarot's happy and healthy, that's all that matters to me." And Bardock responds, "Oh, don't worry. The kid's full of life, and so is his new family. But anyway, I'll tell you all about it later. But first, it's been 20-something years, so give a guy a kiss, will you?" Bardock begins to blush as he begins to move his face closer to his wife, thinking to himself, "It's been so long since I could last do this. I can't wait. I hope I still know how to do it." And as the two then simultaneously move right next to each other, just about to lock lips and kiss after over 2 decades apart, Gine? Bardock is immediately wakened, now with most of his injuries healed. He gets up from his knees before Whis' staff then covers him in a strange aura, confusing the still disorientated Bardock, who comments, "What is this sorcerer doing now? Taking away my sight again?" But eventually, Bardock realizes his injuries have completely dissipated now and comments, "What the? I thought I was done for after that last attack, and now I'm back up full health. The magic of you sorcerers has no limits, does it, Whis?" Now realizing his reunion with Gine was just a dream, Bardock's face goes back to normal as he looks to Whis and inquires, "So, how was our little fight? I don't feel like you learned much at all. I couldn't even land a single hit on you, and even the tiniest flick from you seemed to finish me instantly. This just feels like a waste of time. I could never be on the same level as you or Kakarot, and this Ultra Instinct is just not possible for me." Whis looks back and explains, however, "Quite on the contrary, Bardock-san. That little skirmish of ours was extremely revealing. You, Bardock-san, are even more talented and powerful than I could have even imagined. In your current state of Ultra Instinct, there are times you move at even the level of a junior angel, and by the end of our training, I believe there will no longer be a mortal in Universe 7 that could even rival you. And that includes Goku-san. Bardock, now with an inflated ego and sense of self-worth, responds, "Oh really? I like the sound of that. So after this training, I'll be able to teach that brat a lesson. Haha! Yeah, that sounds perfect. I can't wait!" But Bardock's confidence soon falters a bit as he looks at his fist and questions, "Though, I can't avoid the fact that once again, it seems to me whatever you see in me is something that happens only when I'm not aware, and when I'm blind. How exactly are we going to overcome that? It's not like I would choose power over my ability to see." But Whis nonchalantly replies, "That's no problem, Bardock-san. While you were sleeping, I had an idea. A special item designed only for usage of gods of destructions. But I think I can make an exception for you." And with that, Whis then uses his staff to zap into existence a particular special item, a mysterious blindfold. The item then flies over to Bardock, led by Whis, but as the blindfold lands in Bardock's hands, he cannot help but look on awkwardly and comments, blindfold? A blindfold is your big special item reserved only for gods of destruction? I think we had these even on Earth, Whis. What nonsense is this? Do you actually expect this to be a better alternative to me just closing my eyes? You can take it back. I have my own bandana to use as a blindfold anyway. However, Whis, who finds Bardock's shadow thinking humorous, replies smirking, "No, Bardock-san, this is no ordinary blindfold. With this special item, your body and mind will react as if you are blind, which in theory should allow you to delve into your natural ultra instinct that we observed earlier. But the caveat is, with this blindfold, you will be able to sense and visualize within your mind the life force of whoever is in front of you, as well as whatever has been touched by a living object. In essence, you will be both blind, but also still aware of your surroundings. And hopefully this combination will be able to bring out both your ability to dodge while maintaining your ability to attack also." But on hearing this, the simple Saiyan looks on comedically confused, saying, This does what now?" And Whis, with a sweat tear down his face, trying not to giggle, tells Bardock, "Oh dear, I forgot you are the father of Goku-san after all. Please, just try it on, and you will see what I mean. You can trust me, just this once." Bardock, hearing these words, but also very cautious over the fact Whis has blinded him twice before with his magic, stares at the blindfold for a moment, pondering whether it's worth the risk, before eventually taking the plunge and placing the blindfold on, saying, "Here goes!" And almost instantly, Bardock's body becomes surrounded by a mysterious aura, the aura of Ultra Instinct. Bardock, however, seems to be oblivious of any change, just commenting, "So, I can't see anything yet. How do I turn this on? Hold on." Before suddenly he realizes he can see a strange image near him. He sees the life force of Whis, including various mysterious points of energy concentrated in his body. Bardock, surprisingly, almost instantly gets to grip with what he's seeing and comments, "I see what you mean now. I know where you are, sorcerer. In my mind, I can visualize it, despite my eyes seeing nothing but darkness. I can attack you if I wanted to, but this seems like a gimmick. Will this really still allow me to use Ultra Instinct?" And Whis just sinisterly smiles and replies, "Well, there's only one way we can find that out, Bardock-san. Let's see for ourselves." Before immediately then twirling and spinning his staff at super speed around his body in an attempt to confuse Bardock's senses, before instantly throwing it right at Bardock without saying a word. But as it rushes at full speed towards the blindfolded Bardock, he remains completely still, until at the very last second, with a slight head tilt, dodges the staff completely. Before then amazingly, instantly grabbing the staff on its way out, right by its tail end, and then proceeds to throw it back at Whis at a similar speed, yelling, "Here! I think you dropped this!" Whis of course then stops the staff, and the two training partners just look back at each other with a smile, now knowing the path they must take to master Bardock's training. Meanwhile, back with King Vegeta and Vegeta in the hyperbolic time chamber, many months have passed and the two continue to train. King Vegeta is seen and asks Vegeta, "So, Vegeta, where do we go from here? I've reached the pinnacle of Super Saiyan forms, but it seems pointless in comparison to your God form. So what was the point in all of this? Why couldn't you just teach me to become a god from the start?" Vegeta, however, looks back with his arms folded and replies, "Father, achieving those forms was no waste of time. Not only did you get stronger in the process of battling me and ascending, you also prepared yourself for the massive boost in power that comes from becoming a god. These forms are unlike any other, and your power level will increase far beyond than you can imagine. You just can't feel it, as God Ki is not something mortals can sense." He then continues, looking his father straight in the eyes, "When you reach this level, it's important your body is even capable of handling and controlling such a power increase. If not, it could result in your destruction." "Huh? My own destruction? What do you mean, son?" Understandably, King Vegeta is left aghast at Vegeta's comments, but Vegeta continues, "I'm talking about your own body self-destructing, just like the Saiyan of legend. Back when we were on Vegeta, you told me of the legend of the first Super Saiyan, and how he could not control his own power, which eventually led to him and the planet he was on being destroyed together. After becoming a Super Saiyan myself, I knew that could not be the case. The jump in power is not so large that a mortal body cannot handle it, and is proven by the fact even my young son Trunks, and Kakarot's brat too, who is even younger, mastered the Super Saiyan form with ease and without training. The Saiyan of legend who could not handle his power must have somehow reached a far greater power, the power of a god. That is the only explanation, and by becoming a god without reaching the previous Super Saiyan forms, his life was unfortunately cut short through his inability to handle the energy increase. But with you, father, after training to the point of surpassing even a Super Saiyan 3, you are now finally ready to make the jump. I just hope you're prepared for it." King Vegeta, hearing this, then looks down at his fist and says, "I see. So these months of training were necessary after all. I do feel ready, my son. Whatever this insane power jump is, I should be able to do it just like you and Kakarot. Tell me, how do I accomplish this?" And Vegeta, now impressed with his father's conviction, replies with a smirk, "So be it. I will show you how I became a Super Saiyan God all by myself, using my own secret method." Leaving King Vegeta stunned as he curiously inquires, secret method? But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag secret in the comments down below and let me know if part 10 should be my next video. As you know, this entire manga has been written, illustrated and narrated by myself, and if you want to support my work, you can do so on my Patreon for just $3, where you get this entire manga for yourself to read along with 250 plus other mangas for free to own forever. The ultimate deal for any fan, and the links are in the description and pinned comment. But if you want to see more of my signature style of content, then just click on one of these two videos on the right now. Until next video, guys, cheers.